Hello. So this is my brother's guitar. I've had this for way too long. I have been trying to figure out what to do with it for a very long time now. Originally this was black and I painted it red. Didn't like that very much. So then I thought, oh, I'll just gold leaf it. I got pretty far, but I don't know, I just decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. So then I got to thinking about resin and I came up with the idea of making it look like a geode crystal embedded resin thing. I'm going to be digging channels with a router into this guitar and I'm going to embed crystals and we're gonna see if we can come up with some really cool crystal geode looking resin art. In my last video, I tested some techniques, getting a feel for how this works and strategies to get this done. So I made 6 really cool magnets. I'm doing a subscriber giveaway, so if you want one, check out the link to my last video. There are a few things I need to do to this. Obviously, I need to strip this thing. I need to get the gold leaf off. I don't know if I necessarily need to get the red off, but I mean, ideally, I probably need to strip it down pretty far. So if I could route it first and then strip it, then I won't have to strip these places and it'll hopefully be less work in the long run. We'll see. We will see. So yeah, that's the plan. Route, strip, resin. So let's get started. We'll see how this goes. I got a little stuck here and it went outside the line when it finally did. So we're gonna have to fix that shape a little bit. We can sand that out and that'll be fine. 1 almost down and 5 to go. Okay, so little problem, but it's all right, we can figure it out. I had my clamp here and I didn't realize that right here my router was gonna get stuck on the clamp. So it created this little divot, which is fine, I'll figure it out. But I moved my clamp, so it shouldn't be in the way anymore, and yeah. We have all the pieces routed. My router kind of went a little rogue here. That's fine, we can fix that. That looks good. I just want that to be underneath there. Those go under there like I wanted. Yeah, little preview. All right, on to stripping. I am wondering if I can sand the gold leaf off. I was thinking I was gonna paint strip it with, I think it's called citrus strip, but I was reading that it doesn't work for gold leaf, which makes sense because it's, metal. I'm wondering if I can just sand it. I don't know that I actually have to strip it all the way down because we're gonna be painting it again. So if we could just get it smooth, I think that'll actually save me some effort because I feel like trying to strip it and scrape would be a lot harder than using the power sander. So I'm gonna try to sand this off. Holy crap, that was so much faster than I expected. That literally took me 5 minutes. Awesome. All right, I've got most of the gold leaf off. I taped little stars. They're painter's tape that I cut out with my Cricut machine. I was hoping they would just kind of sand off, but I think I'm gonna have to scrape them off. Hopefully that won't be too bad. I think I got all the tape stars off. When I did my test magnets, I figured out that it really doesn't matter if there's a lot of texture. The resin just kind of smooths it all out anyway, so I'm not worried about getting it mega smooth. I think now we have to Dremel. I'm going to fix these edges and make them all nice and pretty, but looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited. So I've cleaned up the edges. I was able to fix the areas where I had accidentally bumped out, little notches. I haven't decided the base color yet. It's really honestly just gonna be based on the spray paint I have. This is what I used to paint it red, so not that. I have this white. I wonder how black would do. I think I'm gonna paint it black. I have looked up a couple of examples of some like black holographic crystal-y looking art, and it looks pretty cool. So I think we're gonna go with black and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so we've got that painted. The nice thing about this is I'm not concerned with the spray paint being perfect because we're just gonna be glazing over it with the resin. So I'm pretty excited about the black. I think it looks really nice, and we gotta wait for that to dry. So see you later. Okay, so I have a few thoughts about how I want to do this. I'm gonna be using this vinyl in all of these crevices here. So I'm gonna be cutting that to the shape and size of these and putting them in the bottom. So I figured out that I can use carbon copy paper to trace the shape that I want onto some trace paper, and then that allowed me to get this shape pretty easily without having to do a lot of guesswork. So these guys, I'm gonna fill in with holographic glitter. I've got these in here just to kind of measure how many I need. They're too big. I'm gonna be attempting to break these up with the method I learned for the little like glass beads. Hopefully this will be the same. I mean, I don't see why not. So I'm not gonna try to do anything fancy on the back because really who's gonna see the back anyway? Yeah, we'll see about that. This is the glitter that's going to be going in these smaller grooves here. I think we have a plan, so let's do it. I'm gonna take these rocks, I'm gonna put them in this pan, I'm gonna heat them up, and then I'm gonna transfer them to this bowl of water. The idea is that the sudden temperature change is going to make them crackle, and then we can gently hit them with a hammer to where they will shatter. This worked really well with the little glass beads, so we're going to try this with these and see what happens. And I'm going to cover them just in case. Here we go. Oh, it did not work. That did not work. Well, shoot. I guess I could hit them with a hammer and see what happens. Okay, we're ready. I've got these in a Ziploc bag. Hopefully we can just hit them through the plastic and prevent them from flying everywhere. It is cold as butts outside right now. We got some snow, which is really exciting, but it's also like 8 degrees. Okay. All right, I think the only thing left to do is actually start the resin process. I'm a little nervous. I don't know, it just feels higher stakes than making these magnets because this is the only guitar I have. I'm gonna fill all of my reservoirs in with the crystals and glitter. We're gonna let those cure, and then I think I'm going to turn around. We're gonna put our resin on the back, but that way, any of the drips that come around the surface here, we can sand those down before we flip it over. We'll do this side, and then I know, of course, there'll probably be some drips back on the back, but then hopefully at that point we can sand it down and then buff it out, and it'll be nice and pretty. So that is the plan. Let's do it. Let's do this. So I ended up pouring a little bit of resin and then mixing the rocks in and then pouring a little bit on the top. For the glitter, I sprinkled the glitter in and then mixed the resin, and I'm kind of wishing that I just mixed the glitter in and then poured it in there because I think it would have ended up a lot better, but you know, we got there. I love those fun lines that my goggles leave. It's just really nice. So step 1 is done. I had some rogue glitter, so try to kind of clean that up a little bit. All we have to do now is wait for it to cure, and then we'll see what happens. I'm excited to come back tomorrow and see how it did. See you tomorrow. So I was thinking about, I'm going to glue this glitter, continuing flat, and wrap it around the back in cool stripes, hopefully cool stripes. And then I'm gonna pour resin on top of that. This is very rough. It's sharp and it's just glitter, but you know, paper cuts are a thing, and this would be like a plastic paper cut, which is worse. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sand this down. The other thing is I don't know how to sand this. I know that seems pretty self-explanatory. You just get some sandpaper and you sand it down. The thing is that since this is plastic, it's not gonna just particleize. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making up a word here. It's not gonna particleize like, you know, resin or wood. It's gonna flake, and then these pieces. We're gonna figure this out. Anyway, plan time. I'm gonna sand this down the normal way and see if that works, and see if we can come up with a solution for this. Otherwise, looks pretty cool. I am sort of regretting doing the glitter on the back though. But here we are. Here's what we're gonna do. Wish me luck. You know what feels really bad? Taking that beautiful glossy surface and just roughing it up. Got some notes. Sanding this was a little scary. Definitely gonna have to paint some places black again. I sanded down all of the drips and things on this side. I got all of this glass sanded down so that it's not sharp. None of these pieces are gonna like reach out and cut anybody. And actually this glitter sanded down pretty nicely. I've got to paint and touch up the areas that I accidentally went through. Interesting to think that that is gonna be really shiny and pretty. At least I really hope it's gonna go back to being really shiny and pretty. I think it will. I am going to use this acrylic sheet to make a dam where the electrical things go, and then I'm going to seal it with hot glue, and I'm really hoping that that will seal it off so that none of the acrylic goes into that little crevice. So learning as we go. Hot glue is hot, y'all. It be hot. The fact that I can wear a heavy coat and shorts in the same video is wild. Literally a couple days ago, it was below freezing in the single digits, and now it's 70 degrees. All right, but y'all, this guitar looks so good. I basically came in here like every 10 minutes to check on how it was doing, and I popped bubbles with the heat gun and I scraped the drips off the bottom to get them down as much as possible so that I didn't have to sand a lot. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Look at this. So there are some things. This seal broke right here, so there's a little bit of resin down in this channel, but that is okay. We can sand that out. I put some hot glue around this screw hole because it's at an angle. I didn't want to mess with accidentally filling it in and then having to like try to get that same angle with the screw. The back looks pretty good. There are some places that I need to sand. I bought some special sandpaper starting from 120 grit down to 5,000 grit, which is insane to me. This feels like construction paper that allow me to wet sand it down, hopefully to a pretty good polish. Yeah, let's see how shiny we can get this thing. Oh, watch this. Ah, so crazy. I don't know where to put this. When you're doing something like this, always, always, always carve away from your body, just in case. looking pretty good. Now we gotta start smoothing it out. That's a little scary, but we gotta do it. I had some extra glitter resin and I made these little dominoes. I had like a domino mold, thinking that I will do test sanding on this. I sanded this down from 240 grit to 5000 grit, and it's very, very smooth, but it's cloudy. So what I think I need to do is get a polish, which I was not sure if I really needed, but after doing this, definitely need it. I don't want to sand the actual guitar until I can get that polish and test it, because I don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna order some polish, and then we'll sand this baby down, and hopefully we'll be done. All right, got the stuff. So we're gonna use Novus number 3, Novus number 2, and then this Menzerna Super Finish Plus, which is like a car finish. I got these microfiber cloths. This is a little scary. Okay, I'm gonna do a little test and then we're just gonna go for it. I tested this. It's not shiny. Oh, I really hope this doesn't look crappy. Like, this side is undisturbed. It hasn't been sanded at all, so you can see that it's like pretty shiny. This is the side that I polished. It's just not the same. I'm a little stressed out about this. The problem is that I really need to sand this out. Like, it's okay to fail, right? Usually I'm pretty confident that I can figure it out, but this, if I mess up this surface and this doesn't work, then I don't know how to fix it. We're gonna do it, I think. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. This process was really scary, but every time I switched to a finer grit sandpaper, I had more hope that it was gonna turn out really nice. Okay, so I've got this sanded down. It's really smooth. It looks really good when it's wet, so I'm hoping that the polish is what it needs to really be shiny. It's shiny, but it's not the ultimate deep gloss. And I am aware that that could be a me problem. It could be that I just didn't sand it enough. I really, really tried. It's not terrible. The problem, it's satin at best. It's not shiny. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to get it really shiny. With projects like this, I learn something new every day. After the guitar didn't polish the way that I wanted it to, I panicked a little bit. My brother was supposed to come in like an hour. I did a spray enamel coat, which I was hoping would just take that surface and make it really glossy. It did make it glossy, but it also pulled up in places. There were places that resisted the finish. I ended up rescheduling with my brother. I pushed back our meeting date, which I should have done first. I shouldn't have panicked. And then I sanded everything down again. With the spray enamel coat, my sander would not keep hold of the sandpaper. It kept slipping out of the sander, so I had to sand it by hand. Anyway, with all that said, I was able to sand it down, and I did use that spray enamel, and I was able to get a surface that was nice, and it looks good. My brother did come later that week, and he put the guitar together, and we just kind of played around and messed with it. It was a good night. I really enjoyed getting to do this, and I hope that he really likes it.
Try 7?
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, wait, no, yeah. What note are you trying to get? That one.
Ah! I'll just record that over when I'm playing.
You did great.
I will be doing a subscriber giveaway really soon. If you want a resin magnet, check out this or this, wherever it is, video and see how to enter that drawing. I have 6 magnets that I made and I am giving them away. So I'm really excited to do that. Thank you so much for watching. This channel is growing and I'm really excited about that. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, join us. See you in the next one.
Let their hand hit the next string.
Huh.
I'm not nearly as fast as I would want to be.